Who built it? How was it built? And why?
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most tantalizing historical artifacts whose true origins or purposes have since been discovered.
It was not recognized at all as being anything interesting when it was discovered. It was just a corroded lump about the size of a large dictionary.
Number 10. Midyat.
It's a place steeped in history and has been home to the many civilizations that passed through this area over the last 3,000 years.
This archaeological site is the largest cave system in the world. Located under the Turkish municipality of Midyat, Midyat was accidentally discovered in 2020 by a team of construction workers.
These underground spaces underneath each house were known to people, and they were using it for storage because it's quite cold. But what they didn't know is that they were all connected.
Found within the tunnel system were human bones, coins, and water wells, indicating that people once lived inside.
Thought to be at least 1,900 years old and estimated to once being inhabited by up to 70,000 people.
In fact, it was an entire underground city. The director of excavations, Gani Tarkan, believes that it served as a hiding place for persecuted Christians during the ancient Roman era. It was in use between the 1st and 6th centuries before it was abandoned and used as a wine cellar. Number 9. The Puquios of Peru and Chile. Humans are ingenious at devising innovative solutions to common problems. Case in point, the beautiful Puquios in Peru and Chile. In the early 20th century, scholars began studying these fascinating objects in the Atacama Desert of South America. Looking like some type of alien symbol, the Puquios are large corkscrew-like spirals that have been dug into the earth.
No existe este tipo de acueductos que son casi como unos espirales, como una constelación, digamos, inversa, ¿no?
The spirals are lined with rocks, adding a further dimension of beauty and intrigue. Their purpose remained a mystery until the 21st century, when Italian researchers using satellite imaging revealed that they were part of an extensive system of subterranean aqueducts.
The water is still running in these wells and comes from the Andes, far to the east.
These aqueducts were used to transport water for crops and drinking in the arid region. Number 8. Palmyra.
A monumental ancient city at the crossroads of some of the world's greatest civilizations.
Found smack dab in the middle of Syria is the ancient and now ruined city of Palmyra.
When ISIS arrived to the city, they destroyed everything beautiful in the city.
It was an important city during the Roman Empire, known for its trade caravans and key location along the Silk Road. There was just one problem. The city was in the Syrian desert. So how the heck did its inhabitants survive? Well, scholars from the University of Bergen collaborated with the Palmyra Museum to provide answers in 2012. They discovered that the area isn't a desert exactly, but an arid steppe. Underground grass roots kept rainwater on the surface, and this rainwater was then collected using a series of dams and cisterns.
These water control and capture techniques allow a huge area around Palmyra to be transformed into farmland.
Number 7. Honeycombed Skull of Otranto. Enter Italy's Otranto Cathedral and you'll find a wall full of human skulls. These are the martyrs of Otranto, 813 individuals who refused to convert to Islam following an Ottoman invasion. One of these skulls is called the honeycombed skull owing to the presence of 16 round holes. The nature of these holes remained a mystery for quite some time. But in 2015, the University of Pisa deduced that a trepan was used in an effort to collect bone dust. In the late Middle Ages, bone dust was believed to aid a number of ailments, including strokes and epilepsy. This skull would have been especially sought after, as the bones of those who died of violent death were considered more valuable than those who died by age or illness. Number 6. Angkor Wat. The largest religious structure in the world, Angkor Wat is a temple complex in northwestern Cambodia.
Angkor was once the largest city on Earth.
It was constructed as a Hindu temple in the early 12th century under the Khmer king Suryavarman II. The question is, how on earth did they build it? The temple complex is composed of 5 to 10 million sandstone blocks, some of which weigh 1.5 tons.
These stones are so tightly laid that you can see behind me, you can't stick a piece of paper in between them. Today, if you ask somebody to do this wall, almost impossible.
Researchers originally believed that the blocks were transported along a route over 50 miles long from Phnom Kulen. However, this route was long and impractical. Fortunately, in 2011, researchers from Japan's Waseda University used satellite imagery to find an ancient canal linking Phnom Kulen to Angkor Wat. And with that, the real route was likely found.
Angkor and Angkor Wat, it's part of the soul of Cambodia. It's buried in our heart as the symbol of our people.
Number 5. Ancient comb writing.
This is a miracle. One of the most important discoveries ever made on the history of the alphabet.
In 2017, an ivory comb was excavated in Israel with ancient writing on it. So shallow were these engravings that they weren't spotted until 2022.
I was very skeptical because, we never have any sentence in Canaanite, and especially Middle Bronze Canaanite.
Experts immediately got to work deciphering it. The answer was, shall we say, a bit anticlimactic. It turns out this comb was used to treat hair lice, and it reads, quote, "May this tusk root out the lice of the hair and the beard." This translation, while disappointingly mundane, is nevertheless important.
This is the first ever complete sentence, Canaanite sentence, that has been found ever.
According to Professor Yosef Garfinkel from the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, this is, quote, "a landmark discovery," as it shows, quote, "direct evidence for the use of the alphabet in daily activities some 3,700 years ago." Number 4. Pyramid ramps.
The Great Pyramid of Khufu here at Giza is the culmination of hundreds of years of trial and error in pyramid building.
The construction of the Egyptian pyramids remains one of humanity's most tantalizing mysteries. However, continued archaeological evidence has suggested the inclusion of ramps, or at least some type of ramp system that the Egyptians used to haul the massive bricks. For example, researchers in 2018 discovered an ancient ramp system dating to the reign of Pharaoh Khufu, who commissioned the Great Pyramid of Giza around 2570 BC.
This pyramid was a masterpiece of engineering. Capped with a layer of flawless white limestone, it was an unmistakable symbol of the pharaoh's supreme authority.
While it's unclear if this specific ramp was connected to the pyramids, it suggests that the ancient Egyptians utilized the technology in their construction. Number 3. Roman concrete.
With the right formula, structures made of concrete can endure thousands of years.
Just how are those old Roman buildings and aqueducts still standing? It's a question that has baffled historians for centuries. And the answer lies in, drumroll please, ash and lime. But wait, it's not as boring as it sounds. It's actually very cool. Roman concrete was made with pozzolana, a kind of volcanic ash, and lime. When a crack appears and water seeps in, a chemical reaction produces calcium carbonate crystals, which would fill the gap. Essentially, the concrete has self-healing properties that prevent it from crumbling.
The word concrete even originates in Rome. From the Latin concretus, it means grown together or compounded.
Number 2. The Antikythera Mechanism.
We've had to rethink the history of technology completely as a result of this single object.
The ancient Greeks made the world's oldest known analog computer. Dubbed the Antikythera Mechanism, the device was found in a shipwreck in 1901 and mystified historians. And it remained a giant question mark for over a century.
It was not recognized at all as being anything interesting when it was discovered. It was just a corroded lump about the size of a large dictionary.
It wasn't until 2008 that a team from Cardiff University provided answers. Using cutting-edge imaging techniques, the team was able to read inscriptions that suggested that the mechanism was used to track the movements of the moon and sun and predict eclipses. It may also have been able to calculate the positions of Venus, Jupiter, Mars, Mercury, and Saturn. It's amazing what the ancient Greeks were able to accomplish.
The Antikythera Mechanism has captured the imagination of archaeologists, mathematicians, and scientists ever since.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The Stones of Stonehenge.
Every year, 1 million people descend on Stonehenge. They ask the age-old questions about this mysterious monument.
If there's one monument that rivals the pyramids in mystery, it's Stonehenge. Virtually everything about this monument is unknown, but at least we know where they got the giant stones. And no, it's not from aliens. The smaller bluestones originate from the Preseli Hills of Wales, located about 140 miles from the Stonehenge site. It's speculated that these rocks were sought out for their acoustic property, as they make a unique clanging noise when struck, which may have been thought to possess healing powers. Luckily, they didn't have to travel as far for the larger sarsen stones.
A Stonehenge mason would have looked at a stone like this as something that he's used to making, like a stone axe or an arrowhead, but enlarged into a huge scale.
In 2020, a study proved that they came from the nearby Westwoods, only about 15 miles away.
This is an extraordinary time for Stonehenge. We're beginning to understand it in a way we've never been able to do before.
What do you make of these answers? Let us know in the comments below.
The history of technological development doesn't go in a straight line. It develops in fits and starts and sometimes gets lost and forgotten.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.